Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with number 16 in this series, Resigning in a Winning Position, the ultimate blunder. It's worse than giving away your queen, it's worse than missing mate in one. It is saying to your opponent, I'm not seeing a way out, I'm resigning the game, you have won. But when you calm down and look at the position again, or when you check it with an engine, to your horror you see that you have resigned in a position that actually was winning for you. And as a wise man once said, nobody ever saved a game by resigning. And that is what this series is about. One of my most faithful viewers, Matheus Penteado from Brazil, pointed me at a very interesting and quite insane game in which one of the players resigned in a winning position. It was played on Lead Chess in a 3-minute blitz game between Jonathan Strantz, who also has a YouTube channel on chess. I'll link his channel in the description box underneath this video. Apart from his own YouTube channel, he also works for the St. Louis Chess Club. And Jonathan played a game in which his opponent resigned in a winning position, and Matheus spotted that game. Jonathan Strantz was white in this game. His Lead Chess Blitz rating was 2301, and he was rated 300 points higher than his opponent. Let's have a look at what happened. Strantz opened with the e-pawn, e5, bishop c4, knight c6, knight f3, and knight f6. Here knight g5 is a sharp option, putting pressure on the weakest square on the chessboard, the f7 square. But Jonathan Strantz played d4. That is the Scotch Gambit. Black took the pawn, and here e5 is the alternative, but Strantz castled on move 5. And now knight takes e4 came, black takes a second pawn, and as Jonathan Strantz himself says on one of his videos on his opening, the whole world and its mother, well, he didn't use that exact expression, plays rook e1 here, pinning the knight on e4. The game can continue as follows: d5 to protect the knight, then bishop takes d5, the queen takes, and then knight c3, nice move, we'll see that move later as well in the game. You cannot take the knight because then the queen is unprotected. So queen goes to a5, then white takes the piece back, bishop e6, and we have an equal position where white has some compensation for the pawn. He can't win this pawn back straight away because then he loses. Knight takes d4 would be a big blunder because of knight takes, queen takes, and do you see it? Yes, we always like a mate in one. The rook on e1 is unprotected and black has won this game. So all that after knight takes e4 and then rook e1. But look at this move. Jonathan Strantz played knight c3 here, and that is called the Manson Gambit. The opening is described in several places on the internet as insanely aggressive, and Wikipedia writes the Manson Gambit is a line of the Italian game Scotch Gambit and is notorious for its dubiousness and complexity. Many variations result in imbalances that can throw off even the strongest players and chess engines. On September 9th, 2020, Grandmaster Brandon Jacobson initiated the Manson Gambit and defeated nobody else than Magnus Carlsen, Dr. Nichterstein on Lead Chess. In a bullet game, after Carlsen made a blunder on the 10th move. The gambit looks insane indeed at first sight. White has already gambited 2 pawns and now puts the knight en prise on c3. It looks like white is pushing things too far here. Well, let's have a look at what happened in this game. Jonathan's opponent decided to take the knight, d takes c3, and now bishop takes f7 check. White has said a and b and c, and now also has to say d. He needs to keep sacrificing to lure the black king in the open. Black keeps taking white's pieces, king takes f7, and white is now 2 pieces and a pawn down. He played queen d5 check, and now king f6 is apparently the best move here, although it looks crazy to put the king on that square in the open field close to white's pieces. In the game, black played king e8, and that's more understandable. Rook e1 from Jonathan Strantz, bishop e7, and rook takes e4, getting one of the pieces back and continuing development. White's plan is now to bring in the 2 missing pieces on a1 and c1 into the game as quickly as he can. Here d6 seems a more logical move than the move played in the game. Black needs to develop, but black played king f8 instead. Bishop g5 and bishop f6, and that is a good move. White keeps bringing all his pieces into play, rook a to e1, and again d6 is a good move here as pointed out by the engine, but black took on b2. He keeps taking white's pieces, but white still has a lot to prove. Jonathan Trans played rook f4, and now the best move here is to promote that pawn to temporarily distract white's queen's rook. Rook takes b1 and then d6, and black is still alive. But after rook f4, black decided not to promote the pawn. He played knight e7, and that is a move that deserves a double question mark because it allows mate in 3 moves. If you want to put the video on pause, it's a nice tactical exercise. How does white checkmate a black king in 3 moves from here? And Jonathan found the moves. Rook takes f6 check. That's another sacrifice. This time white is giving the exchange, but in this case fully justified as it leads to checkmate. G takes f6 is forced, and then bishop h6 check. Black only has 1 move, king e8. And do you see the mate in 1 now? White did not see it, white missed it. The mate in 1 is queen d5 to h5, and that is checkmate. And that would have won the game for white in 16 moves. A great win with all those sacrifices. But after king e8, white did not find queen h5, he played knight g5, and that move also deserves a double question mark. Not just missing the mate in 1, but also giving away the game. Black took on g5, queen takes g5 on the 17th move, and here black resigned, just as he had turned the tables. As Matteo Spenteado pointed out, black resigned in a winning position. And the engine shows what move black should play here. d7, d5 is the move, and it turns out that there is no checkmate. Black is a rook and a knight up and will be able to give some material back and will then be able to win the game. I'll show you one example. Let's see what we can do with white. It still looks very dangerous for black. We can play queen h5 check, king d7, let's give another check. And if black now goes to c6, for example, then there is queen c3 check, and this will lead to a perpetual check, and white has got a draw. But after queen h3 check, the engine shows the way. Knight f5 is the move here, very nice move. Black is giving a piece back to get the white queen on the wrong circuit, which means there are no more checks, as we'll see. White has to take the knight, and then king c6, which is attacking the white queen. And there are no more checks for white. For example, queen e5 and then b6, giving the king a hiding place on b7. It turns out that white now has no more tricks and that black is easily winning with his extra material. I hope you enjoyed this quite insane game and unexpected finish. And maybe if you're a 1e4 player, you will want to try the Magnus Gambit in your own games. Many thanks to Mateusz for making me aware of this game for the Resigning in a Winning Position series. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel, and please leave a comment. I will read them all and I will reply to them all. If you liked the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter and on Facebook. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.